My oldest son is 24 years old now, and spent the last number of years working and living in Whistler, British Columbia. And we would have no problem going out and seeing him a few times a year because we quite enjoyed going out to Whistler skiing and what have you. But we'd go out and see him. But anyways, after he went to university for a number of years and then worked in Whistler in the summers, and then went and worked out there for about a year and a half, 2 years. So we didn't see a lot. We didn't spend a lot of time together because of his travels and so on. But we always have had a great relationship and continue to do have a great relationship. But one thing that happened very recently is he said, told his mother and I, my wife and I, about his plans to move back to Ontario. And he called me up and he said, would you fly out to Vancouver and drive back with me? And I thought about that for about 15 milliseconds, and I said, of course, I'm looking forward to that trip. But a couple of things happened. It was planned probably about 3 or 4 months in advance, so I had 3 or 4 months to look forward to it, and that was the first thing. The second thing was telling people, just in conversation, what are you doing? And I said, hey, I'm planning this trip with my son. I'm going to fly out to Vancouver, drive up to Whistler, and then we're going to drive all the way across the country back to Ontario. And then seeing some of their reactions, and I was truly looking forward to it. My son was looking forward to it. He was asking for me to do this, and I couldn't wait. And seeing people's reaction, and they go, oh, geez, I'd never do that, or my son or daughter would never ask me for that, or I wouldn't want to spend that much time in the car with them. I'd run out of things to talk about. And it was just, I felt so bad. And I was so looking forward to this trip, and my son was looking forward to this trip because of this powerful relationship that we do have. And that is because of the freedom of time, if you would, and the freedom of time that I have, and the freedom of relationship that I have with my family. And when I do have free days, I have true free days. So when I'm spending time with them, I'm present. We're engaged, we're enjoying ourselves, and I'm not being bombarded with telephone calls or emails or interruptions in that time. So the trip was interesting because I found out when talking to a lot of people what their family situation was like and what their relationships were with their kids, which said a lot about who they are. And then the actual experience was fantastic. I was looking forward to it. We spent we drove for 3,500 kilometers or whatever it was in his little tiny RAV4, filled to the limit. And the only one that got a speeding ticket was me. Thank you, Manitoba. And it was a terrific experience because we were completely focused and present and had that valuable time together. And that was a number of months ago, and we still talk about it fondly and remember that time when. So it's about that freedom of time, and that's just one example of many things that we have done together as a family, or together as a couple, with my wife and I, or with each of the kids individually. And it gives you the time to be able to focus on helping them when they need it.